The hospital was always awake, but at 1:30 a.m., it felt like a different world, a world of soft lighting, tired whispers, and the distant, rhythmic beep of machines. Elara, a new surgical resident, was on her 24-hour shift. Her feet ached, her coffee was cold, and she was reviewing charts in the silent nurse station. She felt the heavy weight of responsibility. Her job was to keep people alive, to make quick, perfect decisions under impossible pressure. But tonight, everything was calm. Too calm, perhaps. She wished she could call her mother, just for a moment, to hear a comforting, familiar voice. Her mother, Annie, lived alone 200 miles away. Annie was a fiercely independent woman, a retired schoolteacher who filled her days with gardening, book clubs, and looking after the stray cats in her neighborhood. She hated admitting when she needed help. Elara knew this independence was both her mother's greatest strength and her greatest vulnerability. Elara had a standing rule: never call her mother after 10 p.m. unless it was an emergency. Annie was a light sleeper, and Elara didn't want to worry her. At exactly रात के 2:03, Elara's personal cell phone, tucked into the pocket of her scrubs, vibrated violently. She frowned. No one called her personal line this late, especially not in the middle of a shift. The hospital line was for emergencies. She looked at the screen. It was her mother, Annie. A sharp, cold jolt of fear hit Elara. Her heart immediately began to pound against her ribs. She glanced quickly at the sleeping patients, pulled her phone out, and slipped into the small, empty supply room, closing the door softly. "Mom, what's wrong? Are you okay?" she asked, her voice low and tight with panic. There was a long pause on the line, filled only with a sound like heavy, ragged breathing. Then, Annie spoke, but her voice was strange. It was small, shaky, and barely a whisper, not the strong, clear voice Elara knew. "Elara, I didn't want to bother you, dear. I know you're working hard," Annie started, trying to sound normal. "But I don't feel right. There's this pain in my chest, and it's traveling up my arm." Elara's doctor training immediately took over, suppressing the panic. The fear was still there, but now it was a focused, cold energy. Chest pain radiating up the arm. Classic symptoms. "Okay, Mom, listen to me. Stay calm. Are you dizzy? Do you feel short of breath?" Elara asked, already mentally reviewing the protocol. "A little dizzy, yes. And I'm so cold, Elara. It's a very sharp, heavy itch. Like someone is sitting on my chest," her mother admitted. "I took an antacid, but it hasn't helped at all." "A little dizzy, yes. And I'm so cold, Elara. It's a very sharp, heavy itch. Like someone is sitting on my chest," her mother admitted. "I took an antacid, but it hasn't helped at all." "Mom, you are not bothering me. You called me at 2 am because you know this is serious, and you were right. This is an emergency," Elara said, her tone firm and professional, trying to keep her mother steady. Elara knew the crucial steps. Time was everything. She had to act as a doctor for her mother, even over the phone. "I need you to unlock your front door right now. Do it slowly. Then, I want you to go to the kitchen, carefully, and get 2 things. An aspirin, not Tylenol, a regular aspirin. And a glass of water," Elara instructed, her voice clear and precise. Annie hesitated. "An aspirin? Why?" "It thins the blood, Mom. It can save your life right now. Chew it, don't swallow it whole. Chew it slowly," Elara ordered. "I'm staying on the phone with you the whole time." Elara heard the phone drop slightly, followed by slow, dragging footsteps. The sounds were agonizingly slow. For a doctor used to minutes and seconds mattering, listening to her mother struggle with every step was unbearable. She had to trust the steps she was giving. "I'm chewing it, Elara. It tastes terrible," Annie whispered back after a moment. "I know, Mom. I know. Now, go sit by the couch, and do not move. Don't try to go to the bathroom or the bed. Just stay put," Elara commanded. Simultaneously, while still listening to her mother breathe, Elara used her other hand to quickly dial the local emergency number for her mother's city. She had to bypass the system and get help there immediately. When the operator answered, Elara spoke quickly, clearly, giving the dispatch center zero room for confusion. My name is Dr. Elara Vance. I am a physician, and I am on the phone right now with my mother, Annie Vance. Her address is, she stated the address and nearest cross street. She is having a myocardial infarction, a heart attack. She is conscious but has severe chest pain radiating to her left arm. I have given her aspirin. Send an ambulance immediately. The operator, hearing the clear, medical language and the urgency, quickly confirmed the details. Elara felt a small, cold drop of relief. Help was on the way. She put the operator on mute and spoke back to her mother. Mom, I've called the ambulance. They know exactly what's happening, and they are coming to your address. I want you to talk to me. Tell me about the garden. What's blooming? Elara knew she needed to keep Annie conscious and talking, to distract her from the overwhelming pain and the fear. Annie started talking about the roses, about how the neighbor's dog had dug up her prized tulips last week. It was simple, ordinary talk, a life far away from the sterile, cold hospital room. And the neighbor, Mr. Henderson, he saw me out there last night, and he said, Annie, those roses are the best in the county. Anne's voice suddenly trailed off. Mom, Annie, what is it? Keep talking about Mr. Henderson. Elara urged, her heart leaping back into her throat. There was a moment of silence. A terrifying, empty silence that felt like a lifetime. Elara could only hear the heavy sound of the phone still being held, but no voice. Then, Anne's voice came back, very faint. They're here, Elara. I hear the siren. It's getting closer. That's wonderful, Mom. I'm so proud of you for calling me. You did everything right. I'm still here. I won't hang up until they are with you, Elara promised, tears finally starting to blur her vision. A few minutes later, Elara heard the sound of the front door being opened, the heavy boots of the paramedics, and urgent, professional voices. Mom, we're the paramedics. We're here to help. What's your name? Anne's faint voice answered, Annie. My daughter is a doctor, she's on the phone. Elara heard one of the paramedics take the phone. Hello, doctor. We're with her now. We're seeing ST elevation, definite me. We're getting her stable and going straight to St. Jude's. We'll be there in 20 minutes. Thank you. Please, keep me updated, Elara whispered, the professional shell finally cracking as her body sagged with exhaustion and relief. She hung up the phone. It was 2:25 a.m. The 22 minutes that had passed felt like the longest night of her life. She stood in the dark supply closet, shaking, no longer a professional doctor, but just a frightened daughter. She eventually walked out, the sounds of the hospital, the beeps, the whispers, returning to her ears. She finished her shift, working on autopilot, constantly checking her phone for updates. The next morning, Elara drove 200 miles straight to St. Jude's Hospital, her own hospital uniform still wrinkled. She found her mother in the intensive care unit, pale but awake and smiling. Annie had survived, thanks to the quick response and, crucially, that 2am call and the single aspirin. You saved my life, sweetie, Annie said, her voice weak but steady. I thought I was being silly, calling you in the middle of the night. Elara sat by her mother's bed, holding her hand. You weren't being silly, Mom. You were being brave. And you taught me something important that night, too, Elara said softly. What's that, dear? Annie asked. That as a doctor, I treat the symptoms. But as a daughter, I learned that trust and love are the most powerful medicine. You broke your rule about calling late because you trusted me. And I broke my rule about worrying you by taking charge. She had faced the hardest call of her career, having to be both the emotionally terrified child and the rationally precise doctor at the same time. The experience changed her. She realized that even the strongest, most independent people need to ask for help when it truly matters. From that day on, Elara stopped letting the fear of being a nuisance keep her from calling or reaching out, both in her personal life and at the hospital. She understood that the last call is the one that matters most, no matter the time on the clock. Moral of the story: don't let fear of inconvenience or the need for fierce independence stop you from asking for help when your well-being is at stake. The people who love you will always rather have that 2am call than face the silence.